Have you ever seen these metal napkin holders at Dollar Tree? So these are really sturdy metal napkin holders, and I'm just going to add a little color to them using yarn. So for the first one, I am using a medium weight yarn, and I'm just going to tie it to the outer edge of the napkin holder. And then I'm going to wrap it around the outer edge and that inner smaller arch that's in there. I'm using a pink and white yarn in a couple different color blocks. Now that I've got all the pink on here, I'm going to switch over to white. And I found that the easiest way to do this is to just trim off the pink and tie the white to the pink yarn. And then I'm just going to keep wrapping. Once I've gotten all the way to the end and I really like how this looks, I'm just going to tie off that final piece of yarn on the edge. Then I'm going to flip it over and just trim off any of the excess pieces and tuck them in where needed. I made a couple of these storage pieces. One of them is going to sit right outside of my mudroom. This is the table where we normally put our mail when it comes in the home. I also made two in pink and white that I'm hanging in my daughter's room. She's looking forward to putting some of her books and her special notebooks up here. This would also be a great place to store larger pieces of art, maybe books or albums, things you want to display. These are made from Dollar Tree napkin holders. I hope this inspired you to go pick up a couple, wrap them in yarn, and use them as functional decor in your home.
I picked up two of these paper towel holders from the Dollar Tree. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn one upside down like so. And then I'm going to take some zip ties. This is just the size I happen to have. You don't need them this large. And I am going to zip tie these together really tightly. So here we are. You can set it either direction. And I'm just going to cut these off as close to the zip ties as I can. We could leave this whole thing silver, but one of the things I found that I'm going to use are these gold frames from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to paint my whole thing gold. I protected my surface and I'm going to go ahead and give this a coat of metallic paint and primer in one. And you want to make sure that you get those little zip ties painted also. I bought these 4" by 4" photo frames from the Dollar Tree that have gold glitter around them. And then I bought these mirrors that are 4" by 4". Pretty handy. Now, they don't totally fit in there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue them and make sure that they are even on all sides. And I will clean the mirrors off, both the glue and my fingerprints, later. But there we go. Now, as soon as these have dried, what I'm going to do, which they dry in, with hot glue pretty much instantly, I'm going to take and glue these to one another. The important thing to keep in mind is if this is on the inside of this frame, right here, see how this is in the inside? Then this one on the other side has to also be on the inside. You can take these off if you'd like. I didn't take these off. I may take them off afterwards. And this only goes following the same concept. This one has to be on the outside. When my glue has dried on my box, I'm going to go ahead. I probably should have taken these out before and take out all of the little easels that hold up the picture frames. We're not going to need those. I have a 4" by 4" square of styrofoam, and then I have one of these little pieces of styrofoam that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. What I'm going to do is put my glue gun on low temperature, and I am going to stick this piece of styrofoam on top of this piece of styrofoam. So I'm going to hold that until that is secure. And now I'm going to put this down in here, but it still has a little give. So what I'm going to do to take care of that is I've got a couple more of these little pieces from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to cut them. I'm going to do the same thing I did before, low temp hot glue. And so all I'm doing is I'm using things that I had on hand to fill our little box with styrofoam. And now, kind of looks like Frankenstein with a couple of ears, a couple bolts on the side, huh? It will wedge right down inside our box. And that's what I wanted. There we go. And you can see. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our paper towel holder that we have painted, and we're going to push that right down in there. And then I'm going to secure it with some S-pins. Again, with my glue gun on low temp, I'm going to add a bead of hot glue all the way around anywhere that the paper towel holder is touching the styrofoam, just as a little extra security. And then you can see I've started to add my S-pins. This is an S-pin, a floral pin, a greening pin. And I'm just going to put several of those in, again, just to make sure that this is really secure. I want to show you that this is plenty secure. I can pick up the entire thing and it's not going to come apart. I have some acrylic crystal drops and some very fine wire. This is kind of the kind that people maybe making jewelry use. And I'm going to feed some of these onto some of these acrylic crystal drops onto my wire. I bought a package of these acrylic crystal drops. They come in a variety of shapes like that. And then I have some very fine 26 weight wire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of wire and I'm going to feed it through my crystal drop, like so. Then I'm going to pull the ends up and make sure that my ends are perfectly even. Then we're going to go back down here and we're going to twist that right on top, not to the side, but right on top of our pretty acrylic drop. Then with these two pieces, what I'm going to do is I bought some inexpensive clear pony beads. And I'm going to feed 15 of those onto each one of these that I'm going to make. And after you've done that, you're going to have something that looks like this. And that is going to shimmer in the light. When you have all of your little dangly crystals finished, what you're going to do is I just did 4 of them, and you're going to hang them right on the top part of your paper towel holders. And you're just going to twist that fine wire around, and then you can cut it off. Don't cut it off too close, and you'll end up all of them falling off. And it really doesn't matter if the ends show. And if you're going to do them, 4 is really easy because you can do them all opposite of one another. And again, you can do as many or as few of these as you would like. And you can use different colored crystals, different colored beads, whatever goes with the decor that you are using. But this is going to make a spectacular centerpiece. There you go. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I have this is a 6.7, almost a 7-inch craft foam. It's not styrofoam, they're calling it craft foam because it is made with recycled plastic. So that's a great thing that we're getting into that. And same thing, we're going to slide it right over top. And now I'm going to treat this styrofoam the same way I treated the styrofoam at the bottom. I'm going to add a bead of low temperature hot glue and some S-pins. The flower I've chosen to use to cover my ball are these beautiful purple hydrangeas. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take each individual little floret off of them, like so. Again, using low temp glue, I'm going to add just a little bit of glue to them. And I am going to start here at the bottom. And I'm going to start covering my styrofoam ball, move it a little closer to you, with these florets. And then we've got to fix this. And the other thing I have to fix, I don't know if you can see it there, is, oh yeah, all of those glue strings. So let me show you what we're going to do. So what you need to do is you need to take a hair dryer and put it on hot temperature, hot and low speed, and just make all of those glue strings disappear. And what else it's done, it showed me a couple spots where I need to add some more petals. So I will do that. My glue strings are all gone, and what I need to do now is decorate this bottom part right here. And the one thing I always tell people to do is always save some of your foliage, because those flowers obviously came from somewhere. So I've cut the foliage off, and I'm going to start by sticking those leaves in all around, and they will go, these are very stiff stems, they will go right into that styrofoam. Then I have one more bunch of my pretty hydrangeas, and same thing, I'm just going to cut these off right here and just add some of these to the bottom. So I'm going to put my flowers in, and then I've got more leaves, and I will add the last of the leaves to cover up any styrofoam that might still be showing. And here is our beautiful centerpiece. And look how pretty it is when you put candles and mirrors together. And that just makes such a difference in the height. So you are not looking right at the flowers on the top, you have space in between. So what a lovely centerpiece this makes. How pretty this would be for any special occasion. Thanks for watching, and I hope I see you next time right here on Home Talk.